Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I am revisiting a topic that I covered a number of years ago. That video I will leave linked up here as well as in the description box down below. And today we're going to be talking about the best designer handbags under $1,000. When I did this video, it was about 2 years ago, and that was to reveal to you guys the beautiful Louis Vuitton St. Cloud that you guys know is one of my favorite bags in my entire collection. It happens to be my birth year bag. Fast forward 2 years, the pre-love market has definitely gotten more popular, we can say, and as a result, the prices have definitely increased. So I did expand the scope of this video to include another category, and that is bags under the $1,500 range that you can find on the pre-love market. And some of them you can find completely new, but I did want to expand the scope of this video a little bit to include some things at a little bit higher of a price point to perhaps get a little bit more bang for your buck. So check out the original video. I'm super proud of it. By the way, really quickly, if you are new to my channel, hello and welcome. My name's Katherine, and I do videos all about the pre-love market. I happen to work in the industry, and I have worked in this industry for about 5 years, so I give tips and insights into the pre-love market, into what holds its value. I'm doing a series right now on authentication that you'll definitely want to check out if you want to save money buying designer goods on the pre-love market, but want to make sure that you get the real thing. So if any of that interests you, I'd love to have you back. Please hit the subscribe button down below, as well as the bell icon, so you can be notified every time that I upload. So we're gonna get started today with bags that you can find under $1,500. Now, $1,500 is definitely a lot of money, especially to spend on a purse. However, we have seen that a lot of the designers are really trying to stay in the $2,000 to $3,000 range when it comes to their classic bags. Some brands like Chanel are going like way above and beyond that, unfortunately. First one I want to mention in this price range is slightly over $1,000, but definitely under $1,500, and that is the Saint Laurent Lou camera bag. Look how beautiful this is. I want to say that I want to amend my wish list to include this bag. I think it is such a great option. The current retail price is $1,150 plus tax here in the US, and it is a really simple classic bag. I think it would be a great pick if you want some versatility but also want something that will take you to nighttime and more slightly dressier evening occasions and events. The tassel on it does come off, and it has a zippered closure. It's quilted, it has the logo on the outside, but it's not super flashy in the same way that logos can be. So I think this is a great first pick under $1,500. And another reason why I think the Lou camera bag for Saint Laurent is a great pick is because most of the other classic YSL bags are running higher than the $2,000 range. This one is only going for $1,150, and to get a YSL bag at full retail value, I think that is such a great price. So definitely be on the lookout for that one. I foresee this one selling out pretty quickly. Next is another camera bag. I think camera bags are just such a great option if you are trying to stick to the lower price end of the luxury spectrum. And this one, I'm not entirely sure of what the retail price is. I will leave it right here, but I tend to favor this one a little bit more than the Marmont flap. You guys know that I do own one piece of the Gucci Marmont collection, and that is this one right here. I think it's great. This one I purchased at the Gucci outlets almost a year ago now, goodness. And it is just a little shoulder bag that I add a strap to. This one I bought for around $1,200, so it's about the same price as the Marmont camera bag. However, personally, I do think that I think this piece here is great for my collection. I just happen to really love it, but I do think that if you're going for something a little bit more versatile, then the camera bag would be the much better bet. So that one I believe retails around $1,200, so probably about the same price as this. I'm not entirely sure. Once again, all prices will be listed down below. Next is the Louis Vuitton Speedy Bandolier. This you can get full retail for around $1,450. I want to say that the largest size of the Speedy Bandolier goes for maybe $1,470 to $1,490, depending on if you get the 35 or if they still make the 40. Unsure about that, but with the bandolier size, people do tend to go for the 25 centimeter, and that one I believe retails at $1,430. Again, prices will be listed down below. I'm not an encyclopedia. I come close. I'm close, not quite there. But anyways, this is such a great bag, and full retail value is $1,400. What's also great about this bag is that they do hold their resale value very, very well. Personally, I think that is a factor of being really, really convenient, very classic, and not too showy. I happen to like this a lot in the damier ebene, but it also looks great in the monogram. Again, the most popular size is the 25 centimeter. I happen to really go for the 35 because I just happen to like big bags, but either way, any way you slice it, any of the Speedy bandoliers, no matter which size you go for, will run you under $1,500. Last but not least, in the $1,500 range is one you'll actually have to go for pre-loved, and that is the Givenchy Antigona. So I have mine in the mini size, and these bags do retail, well, the mini size retails, I believe, at about $1,700 or $1,800. The larger sizes, I think the medium size, which is the largest one, goes for, I want to say, around the $2,500 range. However, on the resale market, these tend to go between, I would say, anywhere from $1,200 to $1,700, depending on which size you go for. This one, I got closer to the $1,300 or $1,400 range. I bought this on Fashion File, and I have a review of it, so if you want to check that out, I will leave it linked down below in the description box. This bag, pre-loved, of course, is one of the best bags I think I've ever bought, and the fact that I can find something this great and this, you know, versatile and simple and practical under $1,500 was incredible. This was such a great buy, and I could not recommend it enough. Again, I have mine in the shiny leather, so it's super durable. I showed in a video a couple of months ago how this can just repel rainwater, and it happens to be raining today, which is why I have my lights on at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Normally I don't have to do that. This bag in the mini size retails at $1,790. So again, if you were to find this at $1,500, it isn't the greatest difference in savings. But if you can find it lower than that, between the $1,000 and $1,500 range, then it's definitely worth going for. I could not recommend this bag enough. And matter of fact, I think I'm gonna carry it today. I think it goes with my little ensemble I have going. So now we're going for under $1,000. Most of these, unfortunately, are gonna have to be pre-loved. They're really, the luxury brands are not really seeming to want to go for a lot of designs under the $1,000 range. They tend to want to cycle upward, but I did my best to find a couple new versions as well, but there's plenty to be had on the resale market. So to start, I have a new bag, and it is slightly over $1,000. It retails for $1,050, but I thought I'd keep it in this category, and that is the Saint Laurent Rive Gauche Tote. I think this is such a great bag for summer, and it comes in white canvas as well as black canvas. I want to say I haven't seen this bag in person just yet, but I want to say what I have seen of it, it does tend, the canvas is coated, so it's not just regular fabric. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So it just will be a little bit more durable than something that is untreated, provided that it is actually coated with something. If you know, or if you have this bag, please let me know your thoughts down below. So it retails for $1,050, and I just think it is such a great, it's such a great, like, casual, like maybe beach bag, but still with that elevated look. And once again, to find a Saint Laurent bag under the $2,000 mark, I think is a great purchase. It looks really, really great with almost any summer outfit, and I just think it's gorgeous. So definitely, if you're looking for something in the $1,000 range, check out the YSL Rive Gauche shopper. I believe it's called the shopper. So next is one that is discontinued, and you will have to find it on the resale market, but we're talking about the Gucci Soho chain flap bag. Now, a lot of these lists do tend to include the Soho Disco Bag as well, and I do think that's a great bag. It's not necessarily the one for me. Obviously, that is the most popular of the Soho collection. But what I'm actually speaking about is there was one that had a flap with a chain strap. I wanted that bag forever. I think it is so incredibly beautiful, and it's a little bit more versatile. I think it'll bring you bring you from day to night a bit easier. These are unfortunately discontinued, so you'll only be able to find them on the resale market. I've seen these in varying conditions, anywhere from $600 to $900, and I just think it's a really, really great buy. Unfortunately, since these are no longer available in store, although you may want to check the outlets, as I mentioned a couple minutes ago, there's great stuff to be had at the outlets, and you do still find some Soho collection pieces there, but generally I would steer you towards the resale market because you can find a lot of great deals. So on that same note, there's another one that piqued my interest, and that is the Louboutin Fb Savino Bag. I believe that's how it's pronounced. I will spell it out for you right here because my French is not great. It's really not. So I've seen this bag in a number of colors, notably black, red, and white epi leather. It is sort of along the same line as the Gucci Soho flap bag, and it is just a really, really good looking evening bag. It comes with a detachable shoulder strap, and once again, I do tend to see these anywhere from, I would say, like $400 to $600 or $700 on the resale market. So this next bag is one that I have spoken about before, and that is the Fendi 2 Jour and the Fendi 3 Jour. You guys know these do happen to be two bags that have been on my wish list in the past, and there are so many great deals to be had on the resale market for these bags. I want to say that they retailed in maybe the $2,500 range, but on the resale market you can find them in the larger sizes for much, much cheaper. Sometimes as low as $500. And then the mini sizes of, I think the 3 Jour will go all the way up to maybe about maybe $1,000 to $1,100. There's so many different colors on this bag, and I just find it so incredibly cute. Like the mini size, I do find a little bit too similar to my Givenchy Antigona Mini, so it isn't necessarily one I would look for in that size, but I do have my eye on getting the medium or the larger, one of the larger sizes. I think that is a great work bag, especially if you're looking for something that can carry a lot. I have my eye on getting that bag in maybe the medium size so I can use it as a work bag, but I just want to find it maybe in a fun but somewhat neutral color. There's great deals out there for these bags, so I will leave some linked down below. This bag is one I have seen virtually no one talk about. So if this is the first time you're being exposed to it, you are welcome. This is what I'm here for. But I am talking about the Givenchy Infinity Saddlebag. There's been so many times I have considered purchasing this bag. I think it is so beautiful and so gorgeous, but it is not one that took hold during the time when it was released in stores. So I want to say, so this one probably retailed, this is from a couple of years ago, and it probably retailed around $2,000. Nowadays, you can scoop up such great deals in this bag. It is a crossbody round bag with a large chunky chain detail on the outside perimeter. I find it so beautiful and so gorgeous. I found one on the Real as low as $495, which is crazy, but most of the time I tend to see these around $700. So expect to pay somewhere between that range on this gorgeous bag. It came in a number of colors, but my favorite is the black with the silver hardware. Yeah, I just think it's just such a beautiful, like really cool looking edgy bag. And from this same collection, I'm also gonna include the flap bag. I guess I'm kind of on a flap kick right now for some reason, but this is super, super pretty. I want to say this is like sort of like an evening bag style, and the strap may have been removable, so you could add your own actual type of chain to it. If you wanted to give it just a sort of another look. But I love the leather. I find that the leather is probably similar to the shiny leather that I have on my Givenchy Antigona. And the next one is an honorable mention, and that is the Louis Vuitton favorite. This bag is so aptly named because it does tend to be a lot of people's very favorite bag. Unfortunately, it is no easy feat to get your hands on one of these bags. This bag retails at $1,050. Unfortunately, to buy one on the resale market, they go above retail, so that kicks them right out of this category, which is why they get an honorable mention if you can find one in stores. I, of course, have heard great things about this bag and will leave some on the resale market down below. I have not ever seen one go over $1,500, so they do technically still fit into the 3 parameters of this video, but I would recommend definitely trying to do your best to find one at the retail store. Counterintuitively, that is where you can find the best savings. By the way, if you're interested in why people buy things over retail, because I didn't get it at first, I did a video all about my experience with why people shop over retail, and we'll leave that linked down below in the description box. So if you haven't seen that, definitely go check it out. And now for the fun part, we're looking at bags under $500. These definitely are all in the resale market, and there are so many different bags to look at. I would say number one is anything vintage. I sort of have put a limit on myself and what I will spend on a vintage bag. I personally am not at a point where I would spend more than $500 on something that is vintage, but that's just me, and that is not at all indicative of what the pricing should be or is for certain vintage bags. Most notably, I'm talking about like the Dior Saddlebag, since it's come back in style. But there's great things to be had out there for vintage. If you are looking for vintage, I would say your best bets are to go to places like eBay, places like Vestiaire Collective is one of the very best ones, and a number of others. I think Etsy has some really good sellers as well. So those are just 3 to look at, and I will leave them all linked down below. So I was having a little bit of technical difficulty with when I was talking about this gorgeous vintage bag. You guys may know that it is Louboutin St. Cloud in monogram canvas. Mine is my birth year bag, so it is from 1990. But the difference with mine is that I removed the original strap and added this canvas one. So I think this was the bag that I featured when I did this video a couple of years ago. I just think that it is a great option for the under $500 mark. I have seen these range anywhere from, I would say, in not great condition, like 300, to better condition up to 700. I don't tend to see them selling for much more than $500, and I bought this one for $4. I do also want to note that with vintage, it is very common that you'll get the bags and they won't be in the best condition. This one, I did have sticky pockets. That is very normal with this material, and especially of something with this something of this age. And I have a video showing you how I cleaned it out, so I will leave that linked down below in the description box. And yeah, so I just wanted to feature this bag a little bit because my camera died on me in the middle of me talking about it. So now let's get back to the video. So now another vintage score was this beauty, which Gucci actually re-released after I found this on eBay. I bought this in not impeccable condition, but good enough condition where I was able to clean it and, you know, sanitize it and do all the stuff to it. But I got this for 250 bucks. Now, since this bag has been re-released, I have seen the prices go up slightly, but you can definitely find something like this for around $300 to $400, definitely under the $500 range. That's what I would expect to find it. Now, obviously, yes, of course, I think that people have been a bit optimistic in pricing with the re-release and with the resurgence in vintage bags, but generally the market is dictated by what people are willing to pay for things. So I would say that the price for vintage, usually with most things, tops out at around $500 because, as I've mentioned before, you can get great almost new things for slightly more than that. So just remember that and go for vintage. I will leave some of my favorites linked down below. Great picks now are Gucci, Louis Vuitton always, Fendi, Dior, and I actually have my eye on a vintage Celine at the moment. I don't know what it is, but vintage Celine in leather is calling my name right now. So be on the lookout for some of those. So next is the mini Chloe Faye. On the resale market, even on Fashionphile, as we've all noticed, Fashionphile does tend to be a bit higher than some of the other platforms, but it does still remain my favorite place to shop for handbags. However, that said, even there, you will find the mini Faye. I either think it's called a wallet on chain or something like that, or the extra mini, or I'm not entirely sure. But you'll be able to find those for generally around the $400 range, if I'm not mistaken. I have so many times almost bought the Chloe Faye in black. I think this is such an incredibly cute bag. The only thing that does worry me, of course, is the suede, but that all depends on how you take care of it. Okay, so another one is called the Louboutin Madeline, not entirely sure. This is a black epi tote bag, and I'm either between this one or the classic Riviera. Both of these come in epi leather, and one of them is a top handle, the other one goes on the shoulder, but I'm a huge fan of both of these bags, both of which can be found at around the $500 range. I'm a huge fan of the Madeline in particular because it does have a pocket on the outside, and you guys know how obsessed I am with outside pockets. I find them so incredibly practical, and I also like that it has the zip top closure. Definitely check that one out. Again, in different condition, they will go for a bit higher, but I have seen these around the $500 mark. And definitely as well, the Riviera, those are all over the market in many, many different colors. And this one, while it is only top handle, you probably could get away with adding a shoulder strap to the little loops on it. So definitely check those two out. And the last one is another one I just saw on Fashion File randomly, and I thought it was cute. So I'm talking about the Fendi. It's a Fendi wallet on chain. They pretty much base these off of whatever collection they're running, and I've seen a number of super cute ones. You guys know I'm not a huge wallet on chain person, but I do think that had my Chanel been a bit lower in price point, I would have been able to justify keeping it a little bit better. So maybe for me, a wallet on chain is something that needs to be just at or around the $500 range. Then I would see it as being a bit more useful. So I'm gonna include the Fendi one because I just think they have a lot of really cute options. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going back into some of my older videos on my channel and just sort of revisiting a couple of topics. If you guys want to go back and look at anything that I've covered years and years ago that I could maybe add some extra light or extra detail or a new perspective to, then please comment down below and maybe I can put something together. Let me know what you guys have been able to score under $500 down in the description box down below, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!